back in that day, everyone ate tomatoes that were grown outside in full sun. That's all there was. There's no greenhouses. Today, skin cancer is rampant. Everybody has it in cool climates. Because all tomatoes are grown in greenhouses. All tomatoes. They did a test on a tomato grown outside in full sun. They found 300 phytochemicals. 300 phytochemicals in a sun-ripened tomato. And they explained how they work. You look at tomato skin. It's still thicker than yours. Very thin. That tomato skin takes direct sunlight, 100 degrees plus, all day long, and it tastes totally smooth and gorgeous. Unblemished. No blisters. Why? It's a phytochemical that protects the skin from blistering. The same heirloom tomato they grew in a greenhouse and tested it, and what they found? 50 phytochemicals. 250 were lost with light going through glass because it interrupts photosynthesis. Are you hearing it? When do tomatoes get ripe?
Hottest part of the summer.
August, September, when the sun's the hottest. You think that's an accident? A coincidence? You know tomatoes are a nightshade family. They're not good for you all year long. They only show up when you need them in August, September. And in cool climates where the sun's not hot, they don't grow. And we, in our arrogant pride, thinking, oh, we can have tomatoes in January. And how stupid. There's no sun. They taste terrible. They're not even a tomato. And you're paying money for this stuff, and you don't need it, and it's toxic because it's a nightshade. I'm just telling you, we have lost our minds. All because of the stupid pride thinking that we can do it better. Let me leave you with something, and don't forget this. Anytime you change the natural order at any level, it is only negative and degrading. Period. Because you can't improve on God. Impossible. He didn't miss anything. He knows everything, and He's good. And when you change it, you're only going backwards. You're not making it better. And it's your stupid, arrogant pride, motivated by the enemy, that's setting you up for failure, because that's what it's all about.
So growing things by hydroponically wouldn't be good?
I had a guy come here, he was actually visiting my neighbor over here, and my neighbor sent him over, and this guy was getting funding for this idea he had thought it would change the whole world on growing food. And it's hydroponics, aquaponics, having fish, leave the fertilizer in there, you know, and he's talking about all this. So I said, well, come over to the garden here. So I have him sitting down eating my weeds. And the guy's flipping out, man. I have never had anything so good with my weeds. Let's have some vegetables in it. And the guy says, look at this water content. And when I told him, and I haven't watered here for 36 years, I don't do anything, all of a sudden the guy just flipped out. He realized that his program, as good as it was, required undivided attention 24/7. For 36 years, no one did anything, and it's just good. It's really old. I'm just telling you, man, you know, all these ideas that man has, even though they're good, they come with labor and work. And I love that invitation of Jesus. He says, come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. And you go back to why we labor and why it's heavy laden. That was the result of the fall, the separation. That was the effect. And Jesus, I love his terminology. He says, take my yoke upon you and come learn of me. Now what do you use the yoke for? That's what they hook up the animals to do the killing, to destroy the earth. And so he's saying, I don't do stuff like you. Follow me around, watch what I do. My yoke's easy. My burden is light. You're going to see everything you see here, everything I'm doing is very easy, very simple. My only tools are rake, very low tech, very completely I need no help, and I absolutely, it's all for free. And I'm realizing, easy yoke, light burden. I've come to the reality when something starts getting hard, I'm off track. This isn't God. This is not God. If it's hard, it's not Him. He made it easy at all levels, and He's very capable, and He's not handicapped, and He really loves us, and He wants us to experience an abundant life with ease and comfort and joy, not stress, worn out, and frustrated, because it doesn't work.
Do you know anybody who has done this in like a Texas type of environment, climate?
Yes, a guy called me from Las Vegas, Nevada, which is drier than Texas. He says, we don't have any witches here because there's not many trees. It's very dry here. It's desert. But I got some. I got in my garden 1.5 inches wood chips, and I'm in total shock. I'm eating the most beautiful Swiss charter lettuce I've ever had in my life, and I haven't watered my garden for 7 months. This is over the phone. I'm not asking. I'm not prodding. This is what he's just telling me. What I want to tell you is that in nature, all the deserts on the earth today were man-made. God made none of them. It's not God's heart to make deserts. That's who He is. And I'll give you a classic illustration of how it could change. Israel from the beginning, was a land flowing with milk and honey. It was a gorgeous, productive place. And it was the whole time as they obeyed God's law and His command, they had that abundance. When they rejected it and they were dispersed, the Crusaders came in and burnt everything to the ground, and Israel for thousands of years has become a desert, a total arid desert. Now they've returned, they're putting a cover back, they're producing the finest food in the world, it's being sent all over the world, and now it's raining and snowing in Israel. I'm just telling you, all it takes is repentance, and God is there to restore, because that's His heart. That's who He is. And all deserts can be reclaimed by just putting the cover back. I saw a YouTube thing where these guys are bringing in livestock on desert places, and grass is starting to grow. I mean, it's just amazing how God put in animals. All these things in nature are so designed to maintain perfect, healthy environments. And here in our arrogant pride, with wanting to make things all uniform, all one thing, we mess it all up and lose it and never get like, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. And we keep doing it. Let's walk on over here and progress. Now you see, this is going to seed, so I'm going to cut this out, but I want you to notice when I cut it, watch the water content, and then somebody who likes greens, you can start eating this and talk to us. Wow. Look at the water in there.
Oh my gosh.
Now start there and eat back and talk to us.
I'm not gonna talk. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Somebody else would like onions? Sure.
Oh my gosh.
I want you to, look when I cut this, look at the water.
I'll take one now.
Look at the water coming out of that.
Woo.
Here, there's plenty for all of us. Oh yeah.
Did you have the gum off?
I grabbed one for the. I'll take it back to her.
Now are you smelling the air?
Oh my gosh.
Are you getting, can you smell this? Are you getting how God made things abundant? Like, yay, I'm here. And you see how sweet and tender that stuff is?
I just feel it through my whole body.
Where'd you get the bulbs to begin with?
This is seed. I planted this is all seed I planted in fall. But look at the size of them already. I'm just telling you, man, this is fun. When stuff grows like this, it's not a bummer. It's like I don't have to go. I mean, it's like, wow, this is awesome. Okay. I get it.
It's my favorite onion.
Hey, Dad, could you give some to Jessica?
Now, Paul, since we're over here, can you talk about what happened to your grapes?
My grape here,
they're gone.
You've seen films in the past, was very big and very productive. And something, I don't know what happened, but the whole trunk totally was hollow and died. I sawed it off at the base, and this is what's back. I just love God. He's just all about redemption. And I'm sure that, you can see, probably next year I'll be loaded with grapes, but it's growing quite well.
When I put grapes, I tree them out like on a cross, and that's when they bear the fruit, just like the cross.
Yeah, well, I had an experience here last year. I'm going to tell you about pruning, you guys. There's this woman that lives in Connecticut. Her name's Karina. I'm going to be talking to her in a minute. But she says, I've had grapes for years, and they produce nothing. And so he came over here, and he photographed me pruning these grapes. I'm taking out these huge pieces. He says, now, Karina, look at this. I'm taking out these major, huge chunks, He says, that's what you got to do. So she did, and she called me like in October, and she says, we just got 140 pounds of grapes. Well, I love God. He says, if you want more fruit, you prune. You see, it's that taking away, that negative that your brain says, pruning is reduction, subtraction. He's saying you get more, yeah, you do. I love him. He thinks different than we do, but it works. It's so cool.
We used to make wine for the church, and I had people come out and work that and show them how it was like usually 6 buds on this side, 6 on the other. You had to prune first so that you made about 3 or 4 canes. And then you use 2 of those canes. You take out the old ones.
Yeah. You see the pruning is a stimulant to the plant. Can I tell you what I sense in the spirit about pruning? You know when you get a cut or an injury to your body, your whole immune system immediately starts producing white blood cells. It does everything to go to that place to heal. It's motivated to bring healing. I think the same happens in plants when they get injured, a wound with a cut. Everything inside, we want to heal. And so the roots spread out, everything starts motivating to bring that healing, and in doing so, the whole thing is stimulated. It's stimulation.
Onions used to be the fruit of the kings, and that's what it goes back to.
Oh, it's wonderful food, you know, and it's just, I mean, it's just, you know, incredible.
So I'm betting that you don't collect the wood chips like everybody else.
Oh, I would put more over them. You see, wood chips are full of air. The whole idea of you don't put stuff up against it, they're all thinking about dirt. Everybody relates to dirt. Well, this stuff is full of air. I could pile this up over the top of this and it would say, fine, thanks. I'm not going to hurt it.
I have a friend who has a dairy where we get raw milk, and they have all this manure, and that's aged 2 years. I was thinking about putting it about 2 inches down.
Yeah, it'd be great. Just sandwich it just like God does. Does someone like greens, like green vegetables? You bet.
I do.
Come here. This one here is amazing as far as its tenderness and water. This is called Holland greens. And I want you to, there's nothing that I grow that has a water content like this stuff.
These are mustard green?
That's mustard. Look at all, now start there and eat back and talk to us.
Is it juicy? I don't know.
Look at that, she's growing 1 inch by the time.
You're not talking.
She's got a mouthful. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right.
Well, the fact that she's not talking and eating should say a lot.
Now what is this one?
What about
This is called Holland greens.
Holland green.
It's just an amazing, delicious.
You get this from the seed company
Yeah.
that we talked about?
Yeah.
this
Isn't that good?
This is a little unrelated, but I have a terrible time with slugs in my garden.
Well, slugs won't eat live food.
Really?
That's right.
I'm telling you, they won't eat live food. Can I tell you? Everybody listen to me. I'll take a break here because this is huge. But let me tell you what God told me about insects. And one day in my garden, and I'm conversing with God, I said, now God, help me. I was told in school insects are pests. You hearing me? Insects are pests. So they look at who you are, your essence is love, and you're good. It doesn't line up with your character to create pests. It just doesn't line up with who you are. What's up with this pest issue? And he came back and he told me, they're not pests, they're my police force. I created insects and slugs to maintain healthy plants. And here's how it works. When a plant's not well, insects and slugs take them out so only healthy plants will produce seed and maintain healthy plants. You see, if weak, unhealthy plants could continue to grow and produce seed, that plant will become extinct. And so God has set up insects, slugs, to take out weak, unhealthy plants so only healthy plants produce seed and maintain health. And whenever God speaks to me, he always does a confirmation, like a mouth of truth, he witnesses truth is revealed. So I'm planting celery in my garden. You have celery seeds. Anybody gardeners here? You ever look at celery seed? It's like dust. It's tiny. It makes celery seed look big. I mean, the lettuce seed look big. I mean, so you drop one, 3 fall, so they come in too thick. So I'm thinning my row, and I got these beautiful plants. I'm not going to throw these away. So I take it over to my herb garden where I had no slugs. This is for you. No slugs in my herb garden. I'm planting the celery that I just bare rooted and is now stressed. Look, my cabbage is over here. The next morning, my herb garden was full of slugs eating down the celery. So I said, now God, talk to me. He says, just watch. He always does that. He says, just watch. You know, just pay attention. So I come back the second day and there's just stumps. The third day I come back, there's no slugs. Here's what he told me. He says, when you move those plants, they were stressed and they put out a signal, we're dying, take us out. And all the slugs heard and complied. When that signal stopped in the third day, they overcame the transplant shock. The slugs are gone, the celery grew back and was beautiful. And then he said this, did you notice they never touched the celery in your garden? It was never stressed. Those signals, and what I'm getting in the spirit is that everything in nature, listen to me, everything in nature except us is totally connected to the Father under his guidance and obedience, all for the support and maintenance of the environment. All of them, except us. We're the only ones that mess it up. All of nature is so in gear, so totally gets it. And I tell people, I have aphids. Well, just water. They water, the aphids leave. See, aphids are there because your plant's dehydrated. You see, a plant, let me tell you this, a bug bites into my plant, they drown. They want cellulose and fiber. They can't get it here. We'll go over to my wasabi, you'll see my old wasabi leaves, the bugs will start to eat it. But all the new ones they don't touch because it's full of water. Again, when you start paying attention, you realize like this is really well designed. And see, God created the insects when they show up to tell you your plant's not well. But in our arrogant pride, having gone to school, we create insecticides to kill the insects. How stupid! Your plant's not well. It's not the insect problem. The plant's the problem. And you were killing the poor insect? I'm just telling you, man, it makes no sense. And so I'm just if you start watering your plants and getting them well, you'll see the slugs leave. They won't. I had my neighbor, just to give you an example, my neighbor come here 2 years ago. He says, "Do you have any lettuce?" The slugs ate all my lettuce. He's looking at all my lettuce, totally gorgeous. The slugs right there in the grass next to it. He says, "How come the slugs are in your lettuce?" And I said, "Steve, my lettuce is well. It's full of water. They don't want water, they want suds and fiber. Yours were stressed, yours weren't well. They took them out." And they just, come on, get it. It's all about health. When you're in good health, you just don't have issues. When you're not, you will, and you should. You should be corrected.
Same applies with trees too.
It does, with everything. When I came here, I had earwigs and all kinds of stuff in my trees. I had fungus issues. I have nothing now because the trees are well. So this is why I do this, because I've been here 36 years, so I've seen the whole process. I've been through when it was bad to where it's good. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to lie to you. I know how this works because I've watched it. I've experienced it. And I can tell you, man, God really knows what he's doing. And he's all about things being right. God is righteous. Righteous is pretty significant. He's not up to things messed up. And he won't put up with it. And he's got insects to take them out when they're not well.